Hey everyone, how's it going? What am I working on now? Well, I got a 17 Toyota Corolla here, and the customer asked me to do a pre-purchase inspection. Smart move. Very smart move. I can't tell you how often we get people, they bring the car in and then they say, hey, I just bought this. Did I make a good deal? Or did I make a good purchase? It doesn't matter now. You already bought it. Can't tell you how often it happens. So what are we going to do? We're going to take it for a ride first. I mean, he drove it here, so I'm going to just take it for a ride and see what it does. So what are the things I check for? I listen for noises, see if I hear anything unusual. I check all the windows. I check all the seat belts, power locks. How does the transmission feel? How does the engine sound? How does it start? So I just started it. I should have waited till I started the video, but I just started it. It sounded fine. Let me start it back up. So here we go, and it's a key style vehicle. So in other words, it doesn't have a push start. Starts right up, sounds fine. It's got auto windows. It's only the driver's side's auto. But I like to listen too. Do we hear anything unusual when the window's going up and down? No. Everything sounds good. One thing I usually actually never play with is the radio. Alright. Well, I know it works. But I usually will never mess with the radio. That's on the customer to check out because I'm just not a radio person, so I never mess with it. HVAC system. All right, let's try front. Temperature low. Fan, whatever. All right, try different modes. It's changing. I can feel it coming out the vents. All right, everything seems to be working there the way it should. Now, it's hot out. But it doesn't matter. What I'll usually do is, okay, it's been sitting here, so usually it takes a little while for it to get cool air coming out, and it is. What I'll usually do, check to make sure the heat works. You buy a car in the dead of summer, yeah, your AC is working great, you know that. But do you have heat? Check to see if you have heat. If it's in the dead of winter and you have heat, well, how do you know your AC is not working? Check to make sure your AC is working. And yeah, it's got heat coming out all right. All right, so we're going to lower that down. And we're going to also try your fan on all speeds. Switch that there. Rear defrost. The light comes on. I'm going to leave that like that. I'm also going to shut off the recirc. See what that feels like. All right. Traction control button. Does that do anything? Yes, it does. Okay, so I know that works. These ports, I really don't have anything with me to check them to see if they work. I mean, I guess I could get the USB thing from inside to see if that works. I could probably get the thing from my car to see if that works. Now, does the parking brake work? I don't know, it feels pretty good. It kind of goes up a little high, though. I put in reverse. And as you can see, up against that really nice Dodge truck right there. Wow, that thing's cool. As you can see, car's not rolling. And the parking brake holds the car. Okay. The brake pedal feels pretty darn good. All right. Horn works. Wipers work. Intermittent works. Washer works. All right, so we'll shut those off. We have a turn signal here. Seems to be all working like it should. Power mirrors. We'll do left side. Left, right, up, down. Right side. Up, down, left, right. See how I changed that up just a little bit? Hazards, did they work? Yep, they work. All right. Cruise control. Will it turn something on? I don't know. Might not. Oh, yes it does. Radar ready. Oh, so it's a radar style cruise control. See that? What that is, radar style cruise control is if you get too close to somebody in front of you, and you can actually change that mode. I don't know how it works, but you can change that mode so like it's, let's say, let's just use easy numbers here. Let's say you're a quarter mile away and it sees that you're approaching a car at a high rate of speed. It'll slow you down. But you can change that up to, let's say, 1/8 of a mile or a 1/16 of a mile. You know, so this way, you know, you're not constantly slowing down. Because I've driven one of these with that. I had it as a rental, and it drove me crazy. I had to adjust that accordingly. What else? You have some kind of a phone set up. Actually, let me stick it in neutral. There is no phone connected. Okay. There's no phone connected. So, but as you see, this thing's already had phones hooked up to it. So it's probably working fine. It's got the lane assist, tell you when you're in and out of a lane. Lane departure alarm turned on, or alert turned on. And oh, this is the distance button. Let's see if it... Okay, here's the distance. See, it changes, oops, I'm sorry. It changes the distance that'll start activating or, you know, or deactivating the cruise control or slowing you down. Basically, the cruise control, if you're going, say, I don't know, 70 miles an hour and the rest of the traffic's going 60, it'll slow you down accordingly and have you going 60 miles an hour. What else do we check? Check your visors. What's the condition? Condition's good. Now we already know that that works with the doors. Yep. Okay. The OS handles seem to be in good shape. That light was working right. Yep. Okay. So, and I got my seatbelt on, buckled. Let's go for a road test and see what it feels like. Let's see what we feel. Does it make any sense? Probably not. But you know what I mean. Let's go for a ride. Okay, so this vehicle feels very good. It's a CVT transmission, constantly varying transmission. I'm not a fan of them. It's a personal preference thing. I'm just not a fan of them. I don't like how they feel. Some people love them. Not me. I'm just not a fan. I rather feel shifts and stuff like that. To me, it just always feels like you're over-revving an engine. But it is a Toyota Corolla, and it'll probably last forever, because Corollas are fantastic cars. So anyway, I'm going to my proving grounds over in Mexico here, the secret testing facility. So I'm heading over there right now, almost there. So when we get there, we're gonna make some turns and stuff like that and just listen to the car. The brakes are solid, there's no vibration. So, all right, here we are. We just crossed the border and we are pulling into our secret testing facility. All right. Let me just shut this AC down because it's actually it's actually too cold in here. Plus, I don't want the air just blowing because it might affect the camera. So, now what we do is we're going to go where we have a wide open spot over here. And I'm going to make a very sharp left-hand turn. Basically go to lock. Steering wheel won't go anymore. Accelerate. Okay. Don't hear anything. I'm listening for axle noise. and I don't hear anything. Sounds good. All right, I'm happy with that. So, okay. So everything so far on the road test is perfect. So let's go back to the shop now, and we're going to finish this inspection. All right, so now we're in the shop. And since it's dark in here, well, darker than outside, you can usually see things that you normally can't. So, for example, like your instrument cluster. You check your dimmer. Now, the center there is not fluctuating. It's just the way the camera shows it. But you can see that the dimmer actually works. I rolled all the windows down because I want to check the doors from the outside. Check your glove box, opens and closes normally. Check your console, both sections of the console work normally. Check your seat recline. Yep, it works. Okay. Turn your key off, but I'm going to leave it in neutral. One thing I did notice, see that little mark there in the plastic? That usually tells me that somebody's had this door apart. And you can actually see the witness mark right there. Somebody's had this door apart. Why? I don't know. But we're going to take a look and see if we can't see something. Sorry about the chime. Check to make sure the fuel door opens fine. Check that for the trunk. What I usually do is I will look, make sure all the stickers are there. Has this door been repaired, like body-wise? Look at the seams there, everything looks fine. Now, what I was talking about, having the windows down. Grab the door and open it. How does it open? Opens fine. Look at the seam. The seam looks okay. Look for tape marks from paint. I don't see anything. Look for paint on rubber seals. I don't see anything. Everything looks fine. Door opens fine from both in and out. I will usually take a gas cap off and inspect it, see what it looks like, see if there's any rust in there. That looks okay. Check your trunk itself. Look at your bolts. See if you see any witness marks on the bolts themselves. I don't see anything. Everything looks okay. Spare tires there, the jacking equipment is there. I will usually look at the floor pans too. See if I can see anything. Everything looks okay there. I see a broken piece of plastic right there. Where is that from? Who knows? This is a factory type tape. I'm looking to see if I possibly see like body tape from body work being done. I don't see anything like that, but we're not done with our inspection yet. So far, everything's looking very good. Everything looks nice. I will usually, okay, yeah, trunk opens and closes nicely. May not open right now. Yeah, there's actually no release here that I can feel. Okay. Look for overspray. That'd be indicative of body work. Open the doors, take a look at everything. Everything looks fine. All of that works. Your seatbelts work. Yep. The seat moves back. All of that works. Stuff like this I usually don't pay attention to because the customer should have seen that. You know, whoever's looking at the car, I'll just tell them, did you notice the stains and stuff on the seat? Okay. The reason I do this too is seatbelts have pretensioners. If the car was in an accident, you may not be able to even get the seat to come out, or the seatbelt to come out. All right, so far everything's looking pretty darn good. Okay. Everything looks pretty darn good. I will even check the wiper blades. There's some chipping here, which is in a weird spot. Wiper blades themselves are okay. Yep, but that's weird to have chipping right there. This fender's been repainted. Can you see the paint quality between the two? See the orange peel here, and it doesn't have it there? This fender's been repainted. Okay. Yeah, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it. Actually, there's dust in the paint right here. Let me turn my light on, maybe that'll help. Yeah, it's very difficult to see, but I can see it. Okay, this hood's been painted too. Can you see the texture finish to the paint? This hood's been painted. And there, you could see the fish eyes and the debris in the paint. So this has been painted. This fender's been painted, or at least they call it edged in. I think I think it was just edged in. All right. This bumper cover's been painted. I could swear I released that hood. At least I thought I did. You know what that means? It's a replacement hood. So this thing was hitting the nose at some point. How bad, I don't know, but it definitely got a new hood. Let's put the hood prop in place. Hang on one second. All right, so we have a new hood. We have new hood hinges. They couldn't even paint the hood hinges. See that? These brake lines are not attached where they're supposed to be attached. This thing took a pretty good shot. See this? This is all damage. See that? See that waffle look down there behind the bottle right there? See that waffle look? That's from being on a frame machine and getting pulled. And you can see the damage down there to all that sheet metal. This car took a pretty good shot. All right, we're going to put this thing up in the air. I wonder if the airbags had been deployed. All right, let's see. What else do we see? Just from up top here. Not an incredible amount. This thing did take a shot in this corner, though. So unless this car is a really good deal, I'm going to tell the customer to stay away from this one. But let's continue to look it over. That's what the customer asked for. So let's put this up in the air and let's give it a good look underneath and see what we find. Okay, so while we're going up in the air, I want to see if you could see this. I don't know if you can. Just a difference in the paint quality. So if you look closely, you see where the light's reflecting in the paint there on the front door. See the difference to the back door? See it? Big difference. See that? Yeah, that front door's been painted too. They probably did that as a blend to try to match it so you couldn't really see it as easily that it was hit. All right, let's continue putting it up in the air. Interesting. I've actually never seen a body shop this lazy in my life. Yep, I'll put your name on there because you did this work and you couldn't even take the tag off. So auto recycling parts. So it's got a used strut in it. The tire came back so far it hit inside there. This inner fender liner is one of the ultra cheap Chinese fender liners. Let's just see, I don't see anything there. Let's keep going. Now, if you did the work, you should be proud of your work. So you should be proud that I showed this. So I'm showing the rest of your work. All right, what else do we see here? Of course, a lot of it's covered up. Look at that. Actually, the whole backing plate is messed up. See it? See how messed up that is? Makes me want to take this shield down here. I think I'm going to take this shield down here so I could see up inside there, see what else I see. But I see this mark here in the frame. It's amazing this car drove as well as it did. But this is shoddy body work. I'm sorry. I ran a body shop for 3 years. This is not something we would even consider doing. See the gap here? See the non-existent gap there? That tells me this whole cradle's driven back. I'm really surprised this thing drove as well as it did. Very surprised. All right, let me, oh, that's cool. What the heck is that? All right, let me just drop this cover down. I'm really curious to see what I can see in there. Okay, so everything up here actually looks okay. They must have replaced this washer bottle because the damage is all on the side there. So this thing must have just hit the nose and hit the fender and ripped the suspension out of it. So this is an aftermarket Chinese bumper cover, aftermarket inner fender liner. So, but yeah, the fact that it tore the suspension out and bent, be willing to bet this K-frame is bent. Absolutely willing to bet. You can't tell by eye. But yeah, all right, let's start putting this back together, and then I want to show you something else that I noticed. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you is this. So I'm hitting the fender here. You can see the fender's lined up to the rocker panel, but my fingers are tight into the tire. Come to this side where the damage didn't occur. I could fit 3 fingers in there with gap. So the wheel on the other side is driven back. I'm in shock that this car drives as good as it does. I really am. But I'm glad they came into me to have me look at it. One last thing I'm going to do. Let me let this down. Just notice that screw there. That does not belong there. That's shoddy work. I can't for the life of me believe they couldn't at least take the labels off of things. That's just incredible to me. Take the labels off. How hard is it? That's people not caring about what they were doing. All they care about is making money. Makes me not like people. All right, so the last thing I wanted to do was put a scanner on this thing and see. I actually ran the VIN number to see if it came up as like an auction vehicle or something like that. It did not. So that's actually a good thing. So So what I want to do is I wanted to run a scanner on this thing and run a complete scan just to see what will come up. And a couple things came up that piques my interest. Well, nothing in engine or transmission, but anti-lock brakes. You have open or short the right front speed sensor circuit. Now, it doesn't tell me if it's current code. I think it's probably when they were doing the work on there, but I would still question that. Light source sensor, open short. I'm not sure about that. Don't care about that. Lost communication with the front distance range sensor. Okay, so does the cruise control actually work the way it's supposed to? Usually it would set a warning. So I'm thinking it does, but that would be something for me to question. Air inlet damper control servo motor. Okay, I'm not concerned about that. Open turn signal circuit, probably because they had the nose off of this thing. Lost communication with BCM. Let's see. Lost communication with front distance range sensor. Lost communication with yaw rate sensor. Lost communication with cruise control front distance range sensor. Those again. Now, okay, so that's all those codes. Now, the other thing I would look at when buying a used car, even your little handhelds will tell you this. Your little handheld code readers should be able to tell you readiness monitors. If you have readiness monitors that are not set, like see this, let's see, misfire is good, fuel system's good, everything's good on this one. So that tells me that it ran all its monitors, they're good. If you go to look at a used car and you see monitors that are not run, that means somebody has cleared the codes recently. So they might have done that because they want you to see that it doesn't have a check engine light. You know, maybe a check engine light will come on, you know, a day or two later. You never know. So if you see that, anytime you're buying a used car, bring a handheld scanner with you that can read readiness monitors. Because if you see that, then you know that they cleared codes. Something to consider. All right, so this car, I'm going to have to say, unless they're getting a smoking deal on it, I'd stay away from it. Something happened that was pretty substantial. Didn't deploy the airbags, but it's still substantial enough. That cradle is back on that side, and I'd be concerned about that. So, all right. Hopefully you got something out of that video. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. Be careful out there when you're buying a used car. All right, guys. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.